This is game two. This is my Vanquished Soul pile, a little incomplete, versus Caleb's Chimera deck. Now, I believe, if I remember correctly, this is Caleb's probably like second time playing this in person. He switched it up. He normally plays voiceless, and I forget what other deck he plays actually now, but he wanted to change it up and try a new deck. And I guess with the new illusion cards coming out, the deck is actually pretty decent. He did go into a little detail with me about the new illusion card coming out that makes it so runics just basically die. They have to set the spell and trap before they can activate them, and since you set a quick play, you can't actually play them that turn. So it was pretty interesting. So he's testing this deck out. I believe, like, just again, second time. Going through, I believe I won the die roll, so I think I'm going first. Um, Looking at the game here, I think I opened up pretty okay. Um, Again, Vanquish Soul, Fenrir is just so good. Um, I think he opens up quite a few hand traps that kind of makes it so I can't play much. I opened Fenrir. I had a pretty good hand, but he just had Impermanent Ash, which I was like, Jesus, just shuts me down. Um, in his, I believe, because I remember playing him, I believe it's this game. He's again kind of new at the deck. We figured out a couple of things as we were done, and as I rewatched these. Um, in this, he'll actually explain how he missed a couple of things and misplayed quite a bit, which is fine. It's all in the learning process, which is always fun too. But yeah, I think one main one is he, in the battle phase, he activates his quick play spell. I can't remember if it's this game or against, I believe, Sam, but I think here I'm deciding, do I just want to normal summon, do a little link play? He only has three cards in his hand. I'm like, or I mean, just ending on just a Fenrir is always just really good. I normal summon, and always realize, I'm like, oh right, I gotta watch out for the anima. Anima is just a big thing. I mean, with a lot of decks now, just running anima. So I activated banish three, hoping I can hit something decent, but just ending on two bodies on board, I thought was be pretty decent pass. So I don't run. It's a again, you only run in this build. There's not a lot of extra deck space, so you only run the Kashtira and Rise. I mean the Fenrir and Rise. It's really good. You don't need a lot of extra deck space. Even if you made Shangri-La, it'd be kind of pointless because you only run three Fenrir and one Rise. Yeah, he just gets the fusion, and the fact that the deck can just run his deck can just run so many hand traps and just kind of almost like one card starter. It's pretty fun. Um, but if you just stop the fusion, they kind of cry. He also said at the beginning of the game, so he is missing one Guardian Chimera, which is just key to the deck. He only has one. Um, it's so good with the fusion spell. That fusion spell, just being able to summon it on your opponent's turn and then pop and draw at the same time. And all of those illusions, I have no idea what the illusions do. So it's kind of like, I'm like, I don't know what they're doing, but sure. And you can just chain block and chain any way that you'd like. So you can see here he adds Codal, and I believe he fused with Patchwork. And I think I always asked, what are their graveyard? Because I guess they have graveyard effects while he controls that mythical beast. but that's why I decide Fenrir and banish the guy face down so he can't activate any of the monsters in the graveyard. I think they're reliant on him. I think I asked him that twice. I go, wait, so if you don't have one, they can't do anything? He's like, correct. You need the mythical beast.
Yeah.
And I'm not an expert on the illusions. I think I've played them like 3 times in my entire life. So when he starts doing stuff, I'm just going, yeah, I guess so. And it's not till after that we play and discuss that it's like, oh, I couldn't actually do that or couldn't do this. It's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then he just trades off with mine. And I think he's okay with the illusions being in the graveyard. I mean, they just can, I believe, if I remember correctly, they can kind of cycle themselves. I think, again, you still need that fusion guy, but
Better effect? Sure. You say better let it go.
I believe I have a Bike in my hand and none of the illusions, except for, gosh, is it? I think one of them is a light and or a dark.
Kind of. This is such a fucking music. The only. Oh wait, you don't get any of the effects, right? You have to have the die. Okay. Okay. Never mind. All right. Target your Egypt.
And here I'm figuring maybe I can just do more. I believe I'm thinking just more damage. Just try to get his life as low as I possibly can. I didn't open up any Vanquished Soul. The only one was Stake Your Soul, which was clutch, but he had an Ash for it, and there was not much else I can do. So
Sure. Tribute special. Yep, tribute special. Yeah. And does he have an on summon effect? Yep. To add a Chimera.
normal summon sword. I believe it activates its effects. So this is a normal summon to just special summon one back,
And you
or
have
special summon one out.
two or one, right?
And I'm deciding whether or not when is a good time to Fenrir. I have absolutely no freaking idea. So it's like, okay, I can Fenrir this guy, but does that even help? And I'm thinking, I believe I decide to do that. Just thinking maybe he has less monsters in his hand, but I couldn't decide.
Does he count as a thingy? Does he count as a mythical whatever they need? He's not an illusion. He's not. He's a fiend. Let's just do Fenrir. Banish him.
Yep. So I decide. Yep. Banish.
Oh, you had
He
both?
resolves.
Yeah, I said and or. That was good.
Adds the. And this is where I was like, what? It gets to add both,
Probably not.
which was ridiculous. Such a good plus. I thought it was either or, add one or, but no, he goes, it's an and or, so you can just add both if you want.
Yeah. Oh, hot bitch over here. I was like, I'm literally not gonna look at you sitting there like, I know you, Andrew. I'm not gonna look. Not what, not looking. What? That's pretty good.
So here he makes Ridworm, I believe it is. He did tell me he does. I mean, we figured out because we've played before, but he has a small branded package in his deck, which is actually pretty good. It's pretty fun as well. And I think here he decides to, yeah, believe he attacks and swings over my Fenrir. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The deck, in my opinion, is I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun. Never been great with fusion decks, but the fact that it's so you can mix quite a bit in there. But I know like the Chimera fusion spell, you have to have a beast warrior and such. So they're pretty good. I like them a lot. So he swings over my Fenrir.
Go ahead.
I think he knows that since I have the Druis, I can't really
Oh my god.
special another one.
Shit. I don't even have the right attribute. That sucks. Stake your soul. And what does he do on the field again?
So I have it. I believe I drew another Stake Your Soul. And I'm hoping like, oh man, please don't have an Ash. At least get some of the Vanquished Soul going here.
Let's do Mad Love when she's normal special. Ooh, this is her other ability. Mark and Earth.
So I had the Mad Love. Activate Mad Love to search the spell.
Add a.
And the thing I like about the Vanquished Soul, I don't play it. I play a Syncrho version of the Vanquished Soul, which I'm sure you saw during game one. Is it's just more of
I
a
get to activate one of those dots per turn.
heavy Syncro. So some of the cards that I like reborning them. The fact that you can search a monster reborn is just so fun, and then you can just synchro summon if you have I think in my build I do Revolution Synchron.
The search?
Um,
Oh, on the summon. Okay, summon effect.
and I think I'm hopping off. I never really use the little unless it's Raisin. I never used her effects. Yeah, that's what it was. So he activates effect filler. I have the Borger, so bounce back to special, and then this is where I realized I messed up. So I never used the little one's effects. So I used Mad Love's effect to bounce.
I added dust.
And
It's a book of moon.
her effect is, I believe it's a reveal it dark, bounce the monster with the lowest defense back to the hand. I add the Book of Moon, so that way I can Book of Moon his monster and just swing over it.
It's normal summon. Activate Mad Love. Reveal a dark earth to return. Oh shit.
Yep, this is it. I normal summon Mad Love, reveal to bounce the monster with the lowest defense, and then I realize Borger has a lower defense. Oh, I just you can hear the oh god, the oh no moment.
And then chain. So the effect is to reveal. Yeah, the two. And chain Dust Devil. Yep. And then
So then I quickly chain
Borger
to Book of Moon.
defense. And then chain Borger to reveal it dark to draw. on before res. Draw. Look. Bounce. Fry.
And then I chain the
Wow, that
border
sucked.
to at least get a draw before he's
Sucked
bounced back to my
hard,
hand
dude.
by my own effect. Normally, that Mad Love effect is pretty good.
This was
Just obviously, I didn't realize it was any. I thought it was just your opponent's monster. So, super frustrating. Cool that I did that just on camera.
Link one. Rock. Rock's effect a special one. Off and back, you useless sack of shit. Attempt to enter battle.
So finally, I'm able to at least do a little bit of the rock. Rock to special summon back the Borger, which
Correctly, but
shouldn't have even left.
main phase two.
I attack to bring him down to 600 left.
6, 7, 8. Two in hand. Because I
The
control
problem
card.
with Rid Rum in the graveyard is I always forget it has a graveyard. They like bury it. Every time I see someone play it, they kind of bury I forget it's in there. And the whole interact in Yu-Gi-Oh! Just in general, it's so tough. So I love the Resonator package. Just a free search, a free special, bring back from the grave. It's a dark. It's so good. Again, the version I'm playing is the Syncrho version, so I make Omega to try to maybe hit something, and then again, I'm like, oh my god, I forget that Red Rum does something.
Forgot you had that effect. Yes. Channel. Till my next turn.
And that's the card. Crimson Gaia is just so good. Just 2 Resonator and a Crimson Gaia. He activates the Elbaz. I chain. I hit the other last card in his hand, but he's still able to just use mine to make the Mirror Jade, which is so clutch.
This is why we read Yu-Gi-Oh cards, ladies and gentlemen. I totally forgot Rid Rum in a freaking graveyard. Like I read remember the first part. I completely missed the second. Like I don't know why. Attempt to pass. I can draw a card or inflict 1,500 to you by revealing a fire.
And here, I believe he's wondering, like, oh, you're just going to kill me for game? Because Borger's second effect is you can just reveal to burn for 15. I believe it's a dark and a fire, but I only have a dark, so I decided to go for the draw. And he had the Ash! But that's almost all he has, so he just swings, and then he just passes. I draw. Omega comes back. And sadly enough, I'm like, how do I do this successfully? And then I kind of see the line. Like, oh, okay, I think we're okay. I think I overthought it. I always forget to keep track of life points. So looking at it, I'm like, God, how do I do this without blowing up my board? So, special the Fenrir.
That was the one. You were right. You were on. I was like, damn, he remembered the burger. I'm like, that's a Fenrir.
I remember because you fucking
I believe he
Yeah.
he I think he knows. Like, yeah, I
That
have
is
to
the
do
one
it because
about
if I don't, I'll
Fenrir.
just swing over with Fenrir. And
Oh, that one you don't know. It just chills. Yeah.
yep. So he banishes my Fenrir,
You got another one.
which I'm okay with. I mean, it was kind of a bait anyway.
Drew Swarm, target your. This guy searches what?
I activate Druis. I target his fire guy, thinking like, oh, he won't be able to activate next turn. Not again realizing he's already so low in life.
Yeah, when it's sent, when it leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, or by opponent's card, destroy all monsters you control.
Alright, let's banish the red guy.
Red guys.
Vision Resonator? Why don't I run Aldaz stuff?
Hey, you got 8 spots, man.
Yeah.
3 fusions, 1
So he's still again. I just worried about
I mean, you could not let
Mirror
that
J
happen.
blowing up during the end phase. Not even thinking like thinking like, yeah, I need to find a way to stop that. I'm again just overthinking in my own head with it.
Borger. I would trade something for Borger. You'll just don't pop it. You'll pull Borger up. Be gambling on the draw. Well, I get Omega back. I'll take a Crimson Gaia and Vision Resonator back. Blow up. Or I can just blow up. Savage. Let's do Savage Chainlink 1.
So yeah, this is where I'm like, oh, Borland. I also believe that I thought Mirror J blows up the board just in general. So I make Boral, I make Savage a Chainlink 1 equip, and then I negate the blowing up, and I'm just like, oh,
Wanna get
it's just
banishing?
game. Like, I forget it only blows up during the end phase, so he scoops it up on to game
Unless I do
2.
another one next turn and again.
That's the problem about playing like 18 because sometimes you just keep going.
Well, yeah, and you know what? So I added the patch where obviously, right? You go off the engine. You banished my second engine face down.
I was wondering about that. I was like, how come he's not patch working right now?
I couldn't use
Like,
it.
I was like, he should be able to.
Yeah, I was crying so hard. Like, this is supposed to like. No, he doesn't.
These are like all dead. Wait, does that block all?
Second place doesn't mean crap. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I'll just do these.
It just means you're the best. And you can choose where they attack. You have to kind of do
I
it.
like how I drew Curry Car against you both games. Yeah. On a single time against him.
You're playing fucking 60 cards, Andrew. It's gonna happen sometimes.
You don't want to, Andrew.
No, Curry Car's 2. And I want to kick it to 3, but every time I do, I see it, and it's like, this is dead in my hand. It's not good.
Do you play Small World in that pile?
Don't. I should.
You probably should, honestly.
I never figured out Small World. I never could.
I love small rooms, but it just feels like a huge neg unless you do shit.
I mean, Andrew's got so many ways to like gain advantage back, and you get a lot of cards that you want to see.
You are correct.
Although I guess if you small world into the Horus engine and then you discard the guy and then you get Ash there, that's like -3 for nothing. So.
The thing I figured out is if you play like Baylor and roll, use Small World into like literally any card in the game each.
I would have killed that next turn.
Because they're both spellcasters, but they all have different stats and attributes besides that. So you literally
Oh, because then you said he's a spell. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is I don't know where the lines go. You know what I mean?
everywhere. They just go everywhere. Anywhere and everywhere you go. Your imagination is the whole.
Yeah. Your imagination.
Well, it's not even that hard to like figure out like the ideal ones. Like at the start of the game, like Small World's in my hand at the start of the game. I can do this. It's like when you've got like 17 cards left in the deck. It's like I bridge
Because if you attempt a small world, you don't have the right bridge. You just have to replay it all back.
I think you get a UC minor and then you have to find a legal target.
That's why I like when I play it, I make so many targets. Like one hand trap's gonna be like 4 targets.
Yeah, because the small world doesn't banish for cost; it banishes it at the resolution. So you'd have to like find a legal target, whatever you compare the bridge to, so you can add something.
Stand by.
Yeah, yeah.
So here he goes first. He opened up the Brandon Fusion, which I mean, in this that like I think Sam was asking him too, like you don't play links, and he goes, no, I think he says he can. He just
It doesn't exist.
just does it. It rarely comes up.
That's bait.
I mean, that's a strong bait, but it's still
it's
bait.
a 1-card starter.
Yeah, it's a good bait. It's still just bait.
That's just bait.
We'll go Gazelle effect.
Yeah. Ash that.
And then the card he sent is obviously is one of the illusions that he's able to just search. I mean, Brandon Fusion in that deck is still really good. I like it a lot. And I don't even think it's like a tech he thought of. I think he just looked up like the deck and he's like, oh, you can just run Brandon Fusion. Just lock yourself into fusions, which is fine. With the Chimera Fusion just being able to summon.
Set that he was in? I forget which set it was.
Hypernova?
Yeah, like it's literally all I opened out of Photon Hypernova. I've got like a page of them. I think I have
One beast. I could maybe try to do something like that. It wouldn't be bad. Yeah. I'm very curious what you're doing against the lab.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, deck lockdown is kind of
Spicy, but it hurt. I didn't realize how much it hurt me. I was like, oh, I draw with Borger all the time. I don't need to add. And I'm like, oh, wait, idiot. I need to add Borger to get the drawing. I last minute added deck lockdown. I was like, I'll just try this. It's the only thing I have. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll go 1, 2.
And then that's the fusion. Now that mythical beast Chimera, I believe what it's called, is on the field. All of his graveyard negates are live. So I'm kind of looking at this like, this probably isn't going to end well for me. He's just gaining so much advantage. I opened up no hand traps. And then regular poly. I mean, yeah, he has a lot. But I still try my best, putting up a nice little fight with my 55 card pile.
Jesus. There you go. Who's ready for the nib? How many summons is that?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Regular poly. In 2024, who would have thought it? For the life of me, I can't remember what was in my hand during this game, but
Targeting what?
Polly, place on the bottom of my deck, and I draw a card.
Sweet of me. Exile target creature, and you may search your library for a basic.
Set 3.
I got you that land.
yeah, he sets 3. I'm just go, oh, well, that's going to be fun.
And what are the graveyard effects or like the negates?
Nothing unless I have him on the field.
Oh,
Or the
he's on
other
the
two
field.
that count as them. Have control.
I thought it was in graveyard too.
Wow, you can choose.
I believe I'm reconfirming what all the effects in the graveyard and everything else is. Just what does this one do? What is that? Okay, you have to have this. All right, great.
Standby. Main phase?
Yeah, that was the see.
A lot of brain power.
Green, I'm like, you gotta legend in his hand. I'm like,
Let's attempt to activate stake.
I'm trying to figure out what's the best line that I can maybe try to bait. So activate stake, reveal a dark. And I think I'm trying to get him to activate as much as I have. I believe I opened a Kurikara, which is why I don't like when you activate Stake Your Soul and you have Kurikara. They typically know if you have they know you have Kurikara, they're gonna just try to play around it. So he activates Imperm, and I don't believe I have a big one in my hand, so the Imperm goes through.
I think so. Monster control.
20, 25. Let's activate Vanquished Soul, reveal a dark. One monster you control loses 500 attack and defense. Take. Oh, wait.
You can activate it, you just can't.
Yeah, I can even do it. It's fair. I totally forgot about it.
I believe he negates it. My Druis, I activate Druis trying to.
Yeah, bro. I'm heartbroken. That's why. Let's link one.
So it's link play time.
Parallel.
Yeah, I open up Parallel XE. That's the so my buddy Juan told me about this one. So Juan, if you're watching this, he's like, yeah, you could typically do Parallel XE. I mean, you just can link one all the time. So
What's it do?
When you activate an effect, another card exactly click effect. Banish a poly spell or fusion spell from my grave, and then target one card in the field. Destroy.
Yeah, and then Exceed just stays in his hand because he doesn't have his own.
That is fair.
yep, and he's able to banish to destroy against the graveyard, which then makes Parallel XE useless. Can't be special.
What does he do again?
When you activate like an extra deck monster effect, quick effect that can negate the effect and then return a monster from the field to the hand, and then during your turn while he's on the grave, quick effect target on the battle bath or the grave. Add a special summon this or that, and then banish the grave. Dude, Magnum's underrated.
Oh wait, you can negate it.
Yeah, negate and then bounce the monster, non-target.
Let's activate tuning. That is Syncrho.
I'll allow it.
I'm gonna allow you to do this.
And I think here I'm just so this is the I believe, if I remember correctly, I add because the Synchron's on road, Rev Synchron, Jet Synchron, and Revolution Synchron, Jet Synchron, and Assault Synchron. That's the other one. And since I have a normal summon, I think I try to, yep, so I try to go for a Syncro play here.
I fucking hope so. Damn it! It's Ash!
Yeah, where was that when I had to
Literally!
And of course, I mill an Ash, which would have been great to have in the hand.
Attempted Druid Swarm, target your Fallon
What are the chances?
Be in there, right? Cell Synchron. I can special this card from my hand, and then
I drew us his Albaz, so you can't get that back. Well, at least I think. Activate Assault, so I special and I pay, I believe it's 500 or 600, I can't remember which. No, it's 700. There we go.
That's funny because I pulled the first one and then it was like, there's no more hits. And then I pulled the second.
Let's go. Can this be chain blocked? If I chain link one.
I think I'm wondering because if I activate a special from the extra deck's effect, I believe Ridworm would activate. So I think I have to get rid of that.
Yeah, you should. So if you synchro, then yes.
But who knows what I'm thinking? Not even I know what I'm thinking.
Ooh, he's gonna fucking.
Oh, yep, that's right. And I think with this, he's able to do the Chimera. Does 1, 2 from field, 1 in hand.
They had a restock. At least they do online pre-orders. And I happened to check 7 minutes after they put Chimera 1. I think they only had like 6.
And here he's just able to clear out my board.
Targeting your sword. No, we could do it. Sure.
Pop 2, draw 1? Yep. Let's do Druid's Effect to pop your fusion back.
We'll go change your sword to a special. Being honest, my favorite combo.
Your special sounding one?
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, I needed a draw first.
Draw for 1. You did.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yep.
Neither. We're all reading now. Yeah. Okay. Any effect?
I believe I sent his Ridworm.
Kingsark?
And I had the Gold Sark. Or the King's Sarcophagus. That's what it is. I think I have 2 cards left in hand, which is a Parallel Exceed and
Let's do Kingsark, sketch parallel.
I forget what the other one is. But I'm thinking maybe I can get enough on board and gamble. So I pitch 1 to dump 1.
I have to hit one in my hand, dude. I'm so sorry. Whoa, you forgot.
so bad, bro.
Actually, I did too. I absolutely forgot. That would have made a huge difference in this game. Let's pitch.
If it happens, he was a
And I'm thinking, like, I don't think he runs the bestials. If I send a Mseti, he could technically bestial it, but I'm like, wait, I don't have any monsters on the field. Can't quick effect bestial me.
Krika? Special Unsteady. Some enter battle.
Yep, that's right. So I'm holding on to the Kurikara, tribute it, gains 15, special back the Mseti.
It doesn't matter. Unsteady attack. 3,000.
And he told me later if I didn't do
Your fusion does, your link does something. Oh wait.
if I did happy
Vanished now? So he's dead?
instead of Mseti, I think it would have been a little different, or maybe that was
Just need one more
I can't remember exactly what he told me, but
do one more Sark. That's alright. Let's do end phase.
and then I love Kurikara's end phase effect. Just steal one monster in the graveyard, your opponent's graveyard, and special summon to your side of the field. So good.
Let's take a look at your grave.
You need normal fusion spells to activate this effect.
This one?
Because you banish fusion spells to pop, but you can put fusion spells in the bottom. So you kind of ask for anything about fusion.
What does this guy do?
He banishes on the opponent's turn, especially like a beast. So nothing bad.
How do you do the pitching from the hand one? Send one. Oh, this goes fusion. Yeah, I'll do rhythm.
I'm trying to decide which one I want to special summon to my side of the field. And I think I wanted to do the Gazelle. I just wanted to make sure that I can actually use it or even special summon it. So I think, I choose the Ridrum. And I pass. Which I believe was a misplay because I should have taken, I think he told me later on, the Gazelle maybe or something else.
I like Kurikara, but she's just like
it's really hard to get her set up.
yeah, exactly. She's really hard. And you're like, okay, I have to bait, Yeah, I did it. And you're like, only her in your hand. You're like, oh.
It's like if it's not a game, it's like she's pretty good. She hits hard.
Yeah.
And then you get something in the end phase. Like you got to steal in the end or something.
Yup. You have to bait something on the field.
The dream.
If some people forget, it's pretty nice, but it's not.
Well, the dream is you steal it or something.
Yeah, that's what it was. Super Poly. That's why. If I had not picked Mseti and I picked Happy instead, I think I would have not been super polyed here. But he's able to super poly me for, I believe it's the Paretta plant.
Still an end phase? Unless you have anything.
Yep.
Chimera effects. Targeting Gazelle special. Gazelle effect to add a level 5 fiend or
And then I think we're deciding here if Kurikara is negated, do you still get the attack boost? But then later on we realized that Paretta plant doesn't technically negate effects; it negates activated effects. So even if you put a counter on Kurikara and negated her, she only negates her activated effects. So either way, her attack boost stays. So I think she's at 3,000 right now, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm safe. I'll just sit on Kurikara for a turn or two.
Because it says gain 1,500 attack for each monster tribute.
And then just keep special summoning back my Mseti. Kind of build a wall.
Judges Lounge?
But I believe I think he's easily able to get around it or over it.
Oh yeah, you have like 50 seconds. You better hurry up.
Shit. Alright. I'll play like that. Go Chimera fusion. Summon. Sure. Effect. Let's go 1, 2.
Sure.
Adding and then targeting, special back sword knight.
Look at your graveyard. It's no good. Nothing to fucking.
Add back.
Yeah.
Effect. So it puts counter negates effects.
I believe he's going at his own pace, but if I remember correctly, timer should be coming up.
Battle phase.
See now we're in battle phase, which is fine. But if they
Gotta love those time rules. So he negates it, but it's only activated effect, so I believe my 3,000 still stays, and I don't think he can
do I lose my boost?
do anything about it.
It's activated effect? That's what I thought.
And I think he said if I had another, I mean, you probably hear him say it a couple times. And there's the clock. You probably hear him a couple times if he had a Chimera.
So she's still 3,000.
Now I believe I stop.
So that just.
No, I think he maybe have a way to get around. I can't remember what he does here.
She gains it. You did call battle.
I know I said I shouldn't have.
Oh.
I might have said that.
I'm gonna stop the clock. Oh.